Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your ITFC live fan reaction show following Bracknell versus Ipswich Town. And as Gino says, it was a nose frill win, a bit underwhelming, to be honest. What were your thoughts on tonight's FA Cup first round draw? First round game, rather. Obviously, Buxton in the second round drawn before the game. I'd love to get your thoughts on it. So get active in the live chat. Put all your comments in there. Alternatively, the link is already in there to have your say. Click it. Come on. Spend a few minutes with us and give us your roundup. Nathan Pearson, that'll do. It was never going to be pretty, but at no point was I worried or stressed. Keogh was an absolute beast in the air. Coxie, welcome back to the ITFC live fan reaction show. Boring first half, Sev Harps, but job done in the second. What were your thoughts on that game tonight?
Yeah, I think the comments there pretty much sum it. It was, it wasn't exactly classic. It never was going to be, an FA Cup classic, if we're honest. Yeah, I'm glad I got the score right, 3-0. Bracknell didn't offer us really cause us any great problems, did they? But at times we made it difficult for ourselves. How many chances did Ladapo had? He sort of missed, but he got there in the end. We had to give him that.
Caden got his goal. Well, he was in the right area.
Yeah, he did.
To get the goal or force the error, which people, were sort of saying before the show, will he get one? But he was there in the right area.
He was in the right place at the right time. Yeah, he certainly was. Yeah.
He certainly was. It's an FA Cup game. Did Town live up to your expectations in an FA Cup game that's televised, or did you think actually we were professional, but Bracknell just rose it by 3, 4, 5 to compete against us? Because for a long period it was, even really.
Yeah, especially in the first half. It was. I wouldn't say it was sort of that. It was a typical Ipswich Cup performance. A game they should have won. Yes, and we got the win. We're through to round 2 now.
Don't get ahead of yourself there, son.
2. Yeah, we've still got Buxton to thing, which is going to be another classic, obviously.
Yeah. At any point in the last 90 before I ask you player of the match and then bring on the fisherman who is yawning away, which probably tells you an indication of what Mike feels about the state of the evening. At any point, did you want to turn over the TV channel and think, you know what, if I weren't doing the full-time show, I'd be binning this off?
Yeah, definitely. I was sort of that first half. I thought, perhaps there might be a better, YouTube video on or something I can watch. But yeah.
Well, you could watch one of the old time machines, Coxie. They're very popular. You could have taken yourself back in time.
Yeah,
could have done.
To better, more exciting times. Yeah, absolutely.
You player of the match then, please, Coxie.
I will go along with Lee Dixon. I think, KVY had a good game. That's a pretty easy goal, didn't stand. That was a wonderful. He was a bit of composure, and then he stuck away great. He's sort of what I call the Marcus Stewart sort of,
the way he sat the goalkeeper down for the goal.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
beautiful, wasn't it? Beautiful.
Yeah, and he sort of slotted at home, but really KVY for me tonight.
Perfect. Coxie, have a great evening. Thank you for being with us for the course of the pre-game show and the post-game show. We'll speak. You're on again very soon, actually, so we'll speak soon.
Adios.
Look after yourself. Like it. Adios. I'm a bit of a Spanish. Rob Holmes, I thought Burgess a bit very assured a game at the back. He must be pushing for a start on Saturday. Paul P. Potential banana skin avoided. We move on. Andy, professional and composed performance. That's all that was needed. Ian Davis, awful, really. Let's face it. Good to see some squad players getting rung out, but pretty ordinary stuff at best, Mike Fisherman. What were your thoughts on that one?
I don't mind.
I'm all right. Yeah, I mean, I'm all right now. I'm talking football with Coxie, Curtis, yourself, Lee. I've just seen click the link, because this is where it's at. But those 90 minutes, I've got to tell you, they felt like it was an NFL game. 3.5 hours just went by in my life.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's be honest with you. We ain't getting them back in a hurry, are we?
Not a chance.
Oh, dear me. Look, do you know what? I want to say this. I think Bracknell were brilliant. Actually, I thought they were really up for it, and that for a team that's 105 places below us, to come and give us a game in the first half like they did, and they were even with us, and if they'd had better quality corners and stuff, who knows what would have happened? Because the corners weren't great by them, and look, they really come and gave us a game, and there was one or two players I feel let themselves down on our side.
Oh, okay.
I thought Ball was awful. He was just giving the ball away every 5 minutes, and it was just woeful. And then you had, I didn't even know Jackson was playing until he was, non-existent really. It was like we were playing with 10 men really with Jackson on the pitch. But look, we've in the second half, did it get any better? No. Goals change games.
They certainly do.
To get started.
The first one was an own goal, but Jackson was, the man on the spot to force the error, as it were.
I think the defenders were running back anyway to make the defensive error. To be brutally honest, they were.
I'm trying here.
Yeah, I know. You're clutching at straws there, chap. I think.
I'm a big supporter of Caden.
I thought KVY was brilliant tonight, and he was unlucky not to get his goal, because I thought the way he sat that keeper down was brilliant.
It was good.
And then Kamara gets his goal, third goal. I thought the third goal was the best goal out of all three. I thought it was a nice team goal, that. But 3-0, look, I think it flattered us a little bit, because I thought Bracknell were really, they upped their game. Of course they did. And then players can come off that pitch with their heads held high and, go and get back into their own league, and, and actually say, do you know what, we give a really good League One side a good run for their money, and and they need to take some pride with that. But the downside is there's one or two players on our side I felt let us down. We were chatting on WhatsApp where we are. I feel that maybe Donatian could do with a bit of a rest at the moment.
Could KVY step in?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think so. Yeah, I think he could. Obviously, look, Donatian's been brilliant, and I'm a great advocate for him. He just looks a bit tired. Some of the sort of final ball tonight was a little bit sort of not so great, shall we say? But look, we've done the job. We're through to the next round.
Yeah, we are. We are, exactly. Yeah, Ball is getting a lot of, not a lot. That's probably wrong of me to say. But Matt Phillips here, for example, agree with Mike. Ball far too slow. Mike D. Ball was awful. So was Jackson. Would have been better with Cannon and Ball. I did say to you tonight. I did say on WhatsApp that Disco Dom had been brilliant at giving the ball away, which is probably what he did most of the night.
Yeah, it's a shame really, because he had that one really good game, didn't he? I can't think it was against now. Oh, memory serves.
But it was a play. It is a play we've all got high hopes on him, and will come good. Absolutely zero doubt. But obviously not his best night tonight. There's a centre half issue with 4-4 the previous league game. Did Burgess or Keogh make any sort of case?
Burgess for me was brilliant.
Talk to me about Burgess then. Talk to me about positive.
Look, Burgess was brilliant. I thought he looked. It was like, he's got to step into that role. He's got to play at the weekend. Keogh, probably for the first 20 minutes, was very ring rusty. There was times when he playing crossfield passes across the edge of the sort of 22-yard, edge of the area, and I was like, there was one he put across the midfield, which was a little bit, which gave the ball away. Good in the air. Nice. I like the way he's commanding. He was commanding Burgess. He was commanding the midfield. I thought Humphreys. I know you sort of looked a bit got a bit bullied, but I thought he kind of. Do you know what? I kind of felt he did well enough out of a bad bunch, if you know what I mean. Look, we've come away. We're into the next round. How many times have we sat here over the years? Great. We're not even in round 2, going out in round 1. Look, there's no reason why we can't get to round 3. And look, if we get Norwich at home, that's going to be that'd be brilliant. But look, we could get a Man City at home before we know, or we could get a Man City away. in round 3. And
I'd want a home tie for sure because it's it's nice to
yeah,
have a Premier League team come down. Even if you're a Championship side, a Premier League team coming down is always a nice occasion. But you've got to get there first. Buxton up next, I believe, at home in the second round. Any? I'm going to ask that famous question. Any concerns?
Look, on paper, no concerns whatsoever. But if we play like we have tonight, then we got to have some concerns because, like I said, they had their chances, and if it wasn't for the fact that their quality in the box, the quality balls in the box weren't as good as they maybe could have been, and maybe some sort of decision making with sort of players could have made a pass, or like there was a bit where there was an overlap on our right hand side or left hand side where. If he hadn't have overrun if he hadn't have run past the ball, he could have been on goal and put it in the back of the net. Look,
should have, would have, could have.
These look, we're going to be playing at home. I have no fear with us playing these teams at home. That grass was long tonight. The ball was I keep getting notifications. The ball was slow on that pitch. There was times it didn't look like it was bouncing. The pitch looked heavy. It was a proper FA Cup game, wasn't it? Where there could have been an upset, but there weren't. But look, we got the job done.
We did. And you played the game. Was it the same as Coxey, KVY?
Yeah, KVY for me. I thought he was outstanding. Edwards had a good game, but he was man marked most of the game. Mm-hmm. But yeah, KVY for me was one player that really did stand out. So yeah, I'm with Coxey on that one.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. You with Coxey on that one? No problem, Mike. We love you. We appreciate you. You look after yourself.
Yeah, no worries.
We'll speak very soon. We've got a couple of comments. Max Pitchford, the opposition will always have chances, Mike. We're playing against men, not traffic cones. Gino, sorry. I'm sure we'll roll out the red carpet for the visit of Buxton. Give them a great day out, but should win the game comfortably. Matt Phillips just texted me saying Buxton founded in 1877. Perfect. Not sure what significance that has, Matt, but we'll take it. Harps, that's 2-2 in the box. No panic. I'll take an unimpressive win in the FA Cup that's notorious for it. We've got Ian Davis, Buxton, birthplace of Tim Brooke Taylor. Who? Lee, welcome in. How you doing?
All right. I'm good. You okay?
We won. Well, I'm on the tally of the chest infection. We won 3-0 on the box. It's all gravy, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. First of all, 1877 is the year before Ipswich was formed, isn't it? But we were formed in 1878.
There you go. Thank you very much.
If I remember rightly.
Thank you very
much.
I think we probably are. It was a random WhatsApp.
I think Colin was at the first game, wasn't he? I think Colin.
I was thinking, how old is Matt Fitz think I am? That I'm going to suddenly go, oh.
There was someone like Billy Dodds playing up the centre back.
We share an
days of Colin. But anyway, sorry, that's no. Yeah, do you know what? When you watch these type of games, they're never going to be great spectacles, are they? They're not. They're not. The pitch didn't help. I think what Mike was just saying about the length of the grass, that didn't help us. They'd obviously put a little bit let that grow a little bit. I think to try to slow our game down. You could see that, I think, with some of the passes that were not as crisp as they should have been. But overall, it wasn't a great spectacle, but these games never are. You watch it to see your team try and win. And,
true.
Overall, it was a thoroughly professional performance, I'd say. We had 3 good chances first half. Should have, didn't take them, and we should have done. Clear penalty, without doubt. It was a penalty on Humphreys. Wasn't deliberate, but it's still a foul in my book. And, he's taking his kick and leg because I think Humphreys would have probably at least hit the target. And you'd expect someone probably to score from there. But that and the second half, and even when you said earlier about the first half being quite even, only in the scoreline, I think first 20 minutes it was.
I thought it was just shite first half. I'm not.
Absolutely, yeah, but it was going to be because we couldn't put off. They had energy, didn't they? And it was only towards the end of about half an hour in, 40 minutes in, that we started to get a bit of space, and we created 3 chances, didn't we? And the penalty. So that's why I think it's a professional performance in that way. In terms of that, I agree with Mike about Jackson. Didn't really think. I think he over has a go at Jackson sometimes, but actually tonight he didn't do a lot in the game, did he? Wasn't really his game, I don't think, tonight. But second
Kamara
half,
got his goal, Lee, albeit a tap in, but Kamara got a goal. That's got to be a huge.
yeah, I
step forward.
think he was offside. I think he was offside in the
He
build-up.
did look, didn't he? He did have a good.
When the ball was played, not through to him, but when the ball was initially played. So I think that's the second phase, isn't it? That he gained an advantage in offside position. So I think, we got lucky with that perhaps. But, I thought after an hour, like you'd expect, we dominated the game. And I think the only spell they really had was from about 50 minutes to 60 minutes, in my view. The game was a little bit stretched. We didn't really have any control. And I think they had a couple of good situations, as Mike said. They didn't get anywhere near with what they were doing. But, we were the class told in the end of our players, I think, and some good goals. I mean, I think Ladapo, to be fair, I thought he had overall a good game, linking up the play until, he missed his chances. So I thought he did. I thought he did okay. Keogh is not even at the races, is he, with the ball? Had 2 or 3 good headers out of defence, I think, but that's his bread and butter. But I don't think he's assured enough passing the ball. I think you can see how good Wolfenden is on the ball when he's not playing, and you've got Keogh playing there, in my view, anyway.
Is he firmly the 4th centre half? Do you feel in the pecking order? Because you just said there, balls out of defence were a bit loose, but he won a few headers. Well, Burgess wins headers in the air. If you were going to rank them, and I'm not asking for 1 and 2 in particular for Saturday, but is Keogh your 4th choice? Is he firmly in that last place?
I think he's the full backup. Yeah, I do. And it might be that he's just not getting enough games. But Burgess did what he had to do tonight. But I think when we're playing at home, you've got to go with the 2 that we've been playing. Fridge and.
So you still go for Fridge on Saturday? You're not looking to make a change, after the 4. No. And I wish I kept Mike on, because I could have put you 2 together for that 2-day off period. But I
don't think Burgess has done anything. It's not that against Burgess, because when Burgess, before he got injured, was playing fantastically, and he kept him out of the game. So he kept Fridge out of the team who got injured. But I mean, it's quite obvious that, well, it might come back to bite me on the backside, but they'll both play Saturday, won't they? Because they didn't play tonight. That you would think that.
Think that. Yes.
We're blessed with 3 good centre backs, aren't we? In those 3, and then you've got you've got someone like Keogh that can come in and do a bit of a job to back up. So you could flip a coin really for that. I know Mike doesn't like Fridge playing on the left hand side, but I don't see that as a real problem. But he played all right. And I mean, the most skillful player on the pitch is Edwards. I mean, he's just miles ahead in his skill rate. He's just got to get that little bit more involved at the top end, isn't he? And just create a little bit more for people. Because if he gets on fire, I've said to you before that he'll be one of the players that gets us promoted on a good run. If he really hits form, hits his stride. So yeah, good all round. A good all round, not an enjoyable game to watch, because these games never are. If you want entertainment, go watch something else. I don't know. Watch people eating crocodile penises or something like that. What's on or things like that,
I'm a celebrity, obviously, you're referring to there. James B, always going to be difficult. They were going to try and make it hard. Quality was always going to show in the end. Good result. I suppose that's the difference. The quality in the end for us in FA Cup ties hasn't always shown. Chris Boyd, K-Mac, it was good practice for our leaguers. Opposition packed the box there too. And we have to be patient without conceding. We knew once we got the first, we'd be okay. Yeah, I do agree with that. I do feel, they score first, totally different night, for many different reasons, but the moment Town score first, it's firmly in control, never looking back, is it? It's always the wrong way.
I think when they, I think even if they'd have scored early, I think in the end they'd have chased to get, I think you can never predict it, but they would have tired the same, and we would have had the same strength in terms of fitness and quality. So does that mean you can come from a goal down? Who knows? But I think the pattern of the game would have continued the same way, even if they'd have scored first, especially if they'd scored early, because they'd had too much to hang on to for too long. And I think that would have maybe told on them. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have begrudged them a goal, but bearing in mind I had 3-0 in the prediction league. So, you know, I didn't want that fourth one, that fourth one to go in. But credit to them, but they didn't really create nothing, did they?
They did no, they didn't. Matt Phillips says Ando's talking sense and he's upset. I don't know who Tim Brooke Taylor is. I'm upset. I didn't know who Tim Brooke Taylor is. Mike D. Burgess answered the call. Moby, tough conditions, pitch to play our passing game. Banana skin avoided. Job done. The good doctor. Fridge and Wolf for me, but Burgess' class. We're not so good until he came in for the Fridge. Being tip top since, so we guess we are blessed with Keo. Womble, my butchers ran out of crocodile penis. Unsure if that is Brexit or striking Dockers. Tough times indeed. Are you watching I'm a Celebrity then, Lee?
No, I watched it this year and I got fed up a couple of years ago. I stopped watching it from sort of like Brexit, I think, when they ended up going in some sort of castle. I haven't watched it for
why because of Brexit, Lee? Because of everything called COVID.
Oh, sorry, COVID, not Brexit.
I mean, I've seen Brexit play for a lot of stuff.
Because you were talking about the penises, you see, that threw me with what it was, the comment. Yeah, the COVID, I think when that came in, I just stopped watching it. It's all the same stuff now. How many more times you want to watch some D-rated celebrity eat some bit of raw meat or a spider or...
I know a good 3 or 4 this year, Lee. Normally I'm sitting there going, who? This year I knew a few.
Yeah, that's runner's course. That's runner's course for me. Tedious.
Fair enough. Before I let you go and we round up tonight's show, 200 people watching. Hit the like button, please. But Harps says Morsey 90% accurate passing compared to Bull on 79%. Not good enough. Disco Dom's performance, Lee. If it was a performance to try and get him in the team, it wasn't quite there, was it?
No, I think the way the game was panning out, it didn't open up for him like you would expect. Maybe when you're playing on a better pitch and surface, he's not been great at a few straight passes when he's keeping it neat and tidy. And again, you know, your stock can rise when you're not playing. And those, you know, some of us support Evans at the start of the season, and you can sometimes see that little bit of control go missing from the game. So he didn't have his best game, but he did enough, I think, when it mattered. But I think, you know, Humphreys again. Just on Humphreys, that slide ball again, he's got that in his locker, hasn't he? That's not the first. He played in Ladapo, didn't he? With that slide pass from the inside, sort of right channel again, the one that he set Norwood up with last season. He's played Jackson, I think, on that. He give him time and space around the box. He's got that in his locker, so he's coming on really well and didn't look out of place tonight physically. I don't think either.
No. Got me up Mike D here. Disco Ball, more like mothball. You know, poor. And Humphreys class. Was he class for you, Humphreys?
I just said, yeah. I mean,
I thought he was bullied a little bit. I thought he was quiet. I thought he was really quiet for me.
I think what he did in the game. I mean, that, you know, he was playing the number 10 role, wasn't he? All that sort of one of the front three, so he's playing slightly further forward tonight. He had some moments, but he always looked quite dangerous. But yeah, he's got that pass in him, and you know, the way he lined up at the end of the first half, that looked a goal all over. I think he was gonna, you know, he's gonna at least hit the target before he was pulled down. But again, I think the midfield is that sort of game where you can't really dominate. I mean, Morsey didn't really dominate the game either, did he? As much as
he was,
perhaps one. It was just I think because they were man marking us, right tight man marking us, that the forwards were having to come for the ball, and it was making all the space tight. Everyone was coming short for the ball. But second half, they McKenna must have had a word because they kept drawing in, then running off, and there was the balls over the top a little bit more, particularly down the left-hand side. But yeah, so I think a good performance, but no one really stood out, really, did they? I mean, I can't disagree with KVY.
No, is that your shout? That was my last question.
Well, yeah, I think so. I think, you know, he was particularly second half and even first half. He put some. He got the cross in for was it Ladapo's shot, the one the goalkeeper saved? I think he was involved with that with Edwards, wasn't he? So, yeah, I think he had a good game. He had a good game.
He did. There we go.
Yeah.
Lee, thank you for stopping by and joining us. Thank you for stopping by to us at home. We are back on Wednesday at 8:30 with Brandon and Neil. Where we look ahead to Cheltenham, upcoming game there. Another home game back at Portman Road. Looking forward to it. Last word from Harps. Humphrey's now second choice midfielder for me until Evans comes back. You had a little eyebrow change there, Lee. You not?
Oh, I'm not. That depends on the opposition, I think. I think Kamara's now coming back in as well, isn't he? So it's nice to see him get on. It depends what you want to do with Humphreys. Let's not.
He's the second time in Matt Holland.
Let's not make him run before he can walk.
Matt Viz already made him England captain.
Yeah, but he might be in a few years' time. But he's still young and he's still got a lot of strength to do. He's got to build his strength up, hasn't he? He's still got to be a bit stronger. Not that he gets knocked off the ball, but yeah, I don't know. I think he'll go with experience and have him as a, have him to come on for like ball or something, or even play ahead and play the number 10 role. He could do that, but I don't think he'll come in for ball. I don't think.
Well, time.
But who knows? I mean,
Aidy Croucher on the TV. We all saw you, the Stowmarket legend. There he was behind the goal for one of the goals. Big up, Aidy. I did see him. I was like, message straight away. I was like, Aidy, I just seen you. That was a great highlight. Arax Max Humphrey go further than Dazelle and Downs. I hear he's saving for a helicopter's license. James Sargent. I think Humphreys. Looking forward to us playing a potential 3. Possibly of Morsey, Humphreys, and Kamara later on in the season. Right, we're done. Hit the subscribe button, join button, like button. Head to kofi, my Talking Town Fid stand. Support the platform that's for fans, by fans, one club, one community, one Ipswich Town. And your Ipswich Town is into the FA Cup second round at home to Buxton. But that's for another day. We'll catch you later.
You make me smile when I think of you. If I get down or when I am blue, I can't get enough. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. I woke up all soaked in sweat, with chills running down my neck. I thought went crazy from just the thought of you. A long blonde hair.